I'm right on time, my babies. How are you all? How you doing? Good evening. Happy Monday. I'm glad you're all here to celebrate another week in book collecting in our little corner of the world. This is our corner. We can rant. We can do whatever we want here. It's a safe space. All right. Oh my God, guys, there's a huge raccoon on our deck. It's enormous, and he's right by the door. You got to come in here and see it. Sorry, this is breaking news. He's right there. I'm live. He's eating something. Go look. I saw him. We have a raccoon on our deck, people. Sorry, I didn't mean. I don't know if anybody's got. I cannot show you, but he's right there. Can you get footage of him so I can post it later? Yeah, I got my phone. You know what? Yes. Here. I don't want everybody to see our garbage dump of a. We'll just get it from there. Anyway, it's unscripted. You know, I go live. It's unscripted. So hello, Hans, Pizza Draft, Mark, Howie, Mike, Phil, Hans. You know, some repetitions. Happy Monday, Jason. Ray Kelly's here. Christopher Bowers is here. Christopher Bowers knows what it is to have a raccoon just sitting right there looking at me. He's looking at me. They got balls. I remember once we had a pug. This was in Chicago. And we had a pug. And I let her out one night. This is going to be a bad look for me. So if you guys had any like good regard for me, you're about to lose it. So that's fine. I'm used to that. But this raccoon, or I had this pug, and I let her out at 9 p.m. to do her business. And then it was about midnight, and I'm going to bed. And I'm like, oh, shit, where's Sassy? That was her name. Sassy. It's midnight. I'm going to bed. Where's this dog? So I go outside, and there's Sassy in my driveway, flanked by like 3 raccoons, 3 big raccoons. Sassy was a little pug, and these raccoons were each one was like twice the size of Sassy. So I'm like, no. And I picked up this lawn chair and I winged it at the raccoons, and they scattered, but they didn't go very far. A couple of them went into, the couple of them went into this little area and just sat there and looked at me, and they were just staring. They weren't going to go. So I brought Sassy in, and I came back out. I was really mad. Because they're ballsy. They don't care. They do not care. So, hey, Joshua's here. They are nasty. I like them. I think they're cute. They're little bandits. They got little bandit faces. They got little hands.
They got inbuilt masks.
They've got inbuilt masks. I've got a mean mugging turkey hanging around my place. Mean mugging. Oh, I was told I had a turkey that lived in front of my house by my neighbors, but I haven't seen that turkey. It's pretty wild. We can rant if we want to. We can leave your friends behind, because if your friends don't rant, and if they don't rant, well, then they must not order from Cemetery Dance. That's how I changed that. Trash bandits. They like chutney and mint jelly. Badass opossums. I like opossums. We had opossums hanging around. Possums are much more docile. They won't mess with you. Let me get the rant juice going. Rant juice. Sponsored. Rant juice from the Duff Bucket, sponsored by Rapture. Mitch, if you do watch this on the replay, rant juice would be a good name for a stout. Rant juice. So how is everyone? I have a little breaking thing that I've got to address. I didn't really plan on talking about it, but there's been a little flare up. How about that new Joe Hill? I'm going to talk about that Joe Hill news today. There's a little flare up on the Suntup fans page. Apparently, I'm joking you, Jeff, on buying freeze. I'm joining you, Jeff, on a buying freeze after yesterday. Cemetery rants. What did everyone think of Michael Blatty blasting the Artists of Legion? That's what we're going to talk about. So as you know, I interviewed Michael Mahurin on this channel great guy, awesome guy, does amazing music videos, amazing artwork. And I'm like, so somebody shared the artist edition of Legion is going out there, and somebody shared photos of the signature page and said, guys, this is a signature. Like, what the hell? This is the artist's signature. Seriously, this is an insult. I'm mad. Why buy a book purporting to be signed when the signature looks like that? So I'm going to show you. I didn't even realize I saw the signature before, so I'm like, I seen that. Uh, I of course knew Matt Mahurin did work on Cemetery Dance Titles, and I saw his work on Legion, and it was amazing. It is amazing. It still is. The pictures haven't changed. And I hadn't seen his signature though. And then so I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I forgot which one I saw it in. So I looked through my Cemetery Dance Titles, and sure enough, he did this artwork. This is The Bride Wore Black, which I have not read yet. But you know, when you get your signed editions, the first thing you do, well, one of them is look at the signatures. You know, as you've seen my unboxings, I unbox them in short order. I'm at that signature sheet. So I'll share it with you, right? So here's Matt Mahurin's signature right there. This one, see right here? You might not see it because it looks like there's a thread on your screen. That's not a thread, that's a signature. There's an M, a line, and a dot for that I. And so people were really pissed off about it. And Michael Blatty got involved because it's his page now. That fan site, that's his page. What are you going to do? You're going to bounce him? You're going to bounce the son of William Peter Blatty? No, you're not. You're probably not. You're not going to do it. So I thought that was hilarious. So he got involved, and he's actually in an unprofessional way. I mean, it's nothing professional about going on. You're a contributor to this book as well. And he said when he opened up the book and when he got the signature sheets and it was his turn to sign and he saw the artist's signature, he was enraged. He was mad, and he got in touch with Suntup about it. Okay, so there's a lot of emotion about this signature. And then, you know, I've heard this argument with Scott Smith's signature, Josh Mallerman's signature, Margaret Wells's signature, right? Isn't that the one author who had health issues? And there are many people who are like, I really am pissed off if somebody does a signature that just looks like a cop out. I don't know if it's a cop out. I don't know the motives or the reasoning behind the way they signed. Matt Mahurin's old signature was an M and an M. So that was at least, you had two letters. They were still kind of drawn out like MM, you know, like, but there was a space between the M's. There were two distinct characters, and this is a line with a dot. So I will say I buy the artist's edition for the art. If I was to buy a Suntup artist edition, most of that purchase, almost all of that purchase, is because I love that book. And I already have the numbered edition, but I love that book, and I want that dust jacket, that other piece of art that doesn't come with the numbered edition. That's what I want the artist's art. I love the signatures. Now, if Suntup stopped having the artist to sign the signatures, I wouldn't dig that. I want the artist to sign it. But beyond that, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to sit here and throw a penalty flag over a signature unless it's a forgery. If it's like, okay, well, this is a forgery, and I paid premium prices. See, for me, when I look at a signature, I think this adds to the limitation. A signatory, an artist or an author, they're only going to sign so many. It's a lot of stress, and it's like, I'm right. I'm right. And it can be exhausting. And that sort of makes it, in my way, it secures the limitation. And maybe that's a stupid way to look at it, but that's my way to look at it. And I don't know. And I choose to read into flippant signatures in the best possible way. And that is, the author or artist doesn't want to make it about their signature. They want to make it about the story. So if they wrote a book and they want you to be into the book and not just the signature. I mean, look at Joe Hill's signature. He just prints his name, and it's all over the place, and it's not limited. So anyway, that's beyond that. I'm like, yeah, you do want something better. I actually remember when I first saw Thomas Oldehoevelt's signature. He is somebody who I've interviewed and I've gotten to know somewhat. I mean, through the interviews, I interviewed him twice, and once for Hex, once for Echo. I'll interview him for every new book he's got coming out. Him and Philip Fracassi. So when I first saw Thomas Oldehoevelt's signature, I'm like, okay, this is really self-indulgent. It's huge. It's swirly. It looks like a boutonniere. Looks like a corsage. It looks like a flower on the page. And I'm like, okay, this is somebody who's really, I don't know, show-offy or full of it, Couldn't be further from the truth. I love his signature. I think it is great. And that's got to be hard to do if he has to do 800 copies of a book or whatever it is. He did sign all of the Hex editions. So that's funny because when I see that sort of flippant signature, I'm thinking they're not full of themselves. They're kind of humble. Like, okay, it's not about me. It's about the story, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm not into this. Josh Malerman's signature is very disappointing. Matt Mahurin's signature is, for such a visionary artist, it is a nice curve, a nice wave. That's how I choose to see it. I don't get all upset about it, but these people on this Suntub page are getting pissed. They are mad. And Michael Vladdy's weighing in. It's like a perfect storm. And they're speculating, is Matt Mahurin injured? Is that why he doesn't sign? Maybe he has, a problem with his carpal tunnel. I don't know, but it's not the case. And so they're mad and they're feeling like they were ripped off. And it's this bait and switch feeling. And I don't know. I wouldn't, my attitude is, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It's not a signature you're going to hunt down after seeing it once. And then you're just, you are maybe a little let down, but beyond that, I don't know. I don't understand the outrage. And I don't know what you all think of that. It's pretty bad excuse for his signature. It is. Jeff, I'm so happy to see you. Hey, Russell, good to see you. I'm glad you're here, Russell. You're going to be here soon. Literally. Hopefully. You will. You have to. Patty. Hi, Patty. Hey, Randy. It's odd because his paintings have MM. I don't know. His signature is still better than Josh Malerman's. No, it's not. Josh at least has a J. And you know what's interesting? Okay, so if you notice, there is a signature here. This is the other Matt Mahurin signature. This doesn't even have the dot for the I. This is just a wavy line. It's like an ocean horizon. But below that, Jacob McMurdy, you see that signature? Somebody shared a different Cornell Woolrich title. I only have the two. I have Rendezvous in Black, which I read and loved, and The Bride Wore Black. I didn't read it yet. So those are the only two Cornell Woolrich books I have. I'm not going to hunt down the other ones. But Jacob McMurray's signature looks just like Josh Malerman's on that photo somebody shared on the Suntub page. It's crazy that it went, so I was kind of shocked to see that he signed it more crisper, better in this book than he did on that one. It's a lousy signature, but who cares? There you go. It looks like someone who can't fake Malerman's. It is ugly sigs, but if that's his, then I don't care. And you know what? If it's his, and it is his, so it's like, okay, say he was Stephen King, and that's how Stephen King signed his books. I would never pay premium prices for a Stephen King signature off of eBay. Like I would not, if there's no sort of provenance. there's no sort of proof that this is a bona fide signature sheet from the author with that signature, then I wouldn't trust it. But we know, I know I have Matt Mahurin's signature in several books now, and that's the way he chose to sign it. That's legitimate. That's good enough for me. As long as the signature is legitimate, it's okay for being late, David. As long as the person is consistent with their signature, it shouldn't matter what it looks like. It's only theirs to represent limitation and the inclusion of the creator. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's the idea that this book or this sheet was handled by the actual artist author, which, like, again, solidifies that limitation, but it also it gets personal. You feel closer to that creator knowing they handled that signature sheet. This is something that they were involved with. Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr. is here. Hello. I agree. I don't understand why anyone would be bothered about it, how a contributor signs their name if that's the way they sign it. Agree. Now, I did say I would say you hope for something a little more substantial, but there is it is funny. There is a little something beautiful about that line. Like, if I drew a line like that, you're like, okay, what is that? There's something about that line. There's a certain rhythm and beauty to that line. Yes, I'm spinning it. I'm making it bigger than it should be, but I am telling the truth. I think there's a little something. Yes, they're totally going bonkers, and I don't get it really. But I love that they're going bonkers. I love it. Go ahead, bonkers over something inconsequential. It's fun to watch. I'll have popcorn and dig it. It's a kind of funny thing. To me, telling someone their sig is ugly is like telling them their face is ugly. Your face is ugly, Matt. Yeah, no, it is. But okay, so here's the thing: does he sign checks that way? Remember how people used to do checks back when we didn't have digital currency, and that could be turned on and off by the government. I guarantee he doesn't sign checks like that. I doubt a bank would accept that as proof of identity. Maybe they do. So there are people that are saying, okay, but if that's the artist's signature for his art, then boom, that's it. Hands off. We can all have opinions about it, but I wouldn't get mad. I'm not. I would not. Hello, Mitch is here. Mitch is here. I'm drinking a Journey into the Night. Journey into the Night proof. And it should be called Rant Stout or Rant Juice. Rant Juice. I personally don't care. Oh, I don't get it either. If it's his signature, so be it. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. I'm so mad about it, and I will never buy any book ever again. Oh, Joshua went overboard, but that's what Joshua does. That's his thing. That's his brand. I'm done buying books. Personally don't care about the signatures of the artists. I love the art. Authors' signatures matter most to me. That is true, but I do value all signatures from contributors. Somebody who put their heart into a project. I like to see that. So the rant's about the signature of Matt Mahurin. You'll have to watch it on the replay. I hold up examples. But a lot of the third-party provenances are garbage too. They are. So that's why I limit it to a publisher that has a signature sheet, advertised it as such, and all that, or signed from a bookseller, a brand new edition, or of course, if I go and meet the person and have photos like me with my arm around Robert McCammon, I have those books. I just think if you go to these events to meet these authors, you don't care about, well, maybe I'm naive, but you maybe don't care too much about selling. So they're more special to you and you'll keep them. Sign limited. Hey, X-Pack, good to see you. Sign limited, awesome. Did a fun contest last year, letting people show off bad author sigs. I remember, and Scott Smith was in there. Who else? I don't remember all of them, but I remember Josh Mallerman. I remember the first Josh Mallerman signature I saw, and I'm just like, okay. But again, I took that as maybe he just doesn't want to make it about the signature, you know? But on the other hand, it's about the reader, and the reader wants that signature because it's special to the reader. So you got to be careful. Michael Blatty has been cool on the fan sub page, but I must say he's a bit much at times. Like he is living vicariously through his father's fame and success. It's a hell of a shadow, man. His dad cast a long shadow. His creations have sort of, that's immortality. His father's gone. His legacy remains. The fans are there. So it's interesting. I understand. And a lot of people are like, you're dominating the page. You're a spammer. He got an argument with this guy, Francis Lamort. And that was interesting. To me, like, oh, by the way, whoever thumbs down my lives, you missed the last one. Just go back and thumb it down. My whole point is like, I don't thumb down videos, and I don't get involved in, like, if I see a Michael Blatty post and I don't want to read a Michael Blatty post, I'll roll my eyes and go, oh my God, this guy again, and move on. I wouldn't say you are a spammer. Just move on. Don't waste your time, because you're giving whoever annoys you power. So if you're thumbing down this video, thanks for giving me power. Because I'm annoying as hell. I agree, Flash. It's all a little much for me. Kind of smarmy. Yeah. Also, when did you get a haircut? Oh, I had an interaction for money. So I did something for money. So I had to look the part last week. So I got a haircut. But it's still long. It's long-ish. But yeah, I got a haircut because I had to seem employable or somewhat of an adult. I couldn't be this backwoods Tennessee Sasquatch. He was hair shamed. I was. I mean, if anyone wants to get up in arms about something, can we start with the Ferrari coffee tables? Someone owns a Ferrari coffee table. Ferrari coffee tables. It's a Ferrari engine with a glass top on it. And they can retail anywhere between $25,000 and $125,000 for a coffee table. For an engine that doesn't function. This engine. Now, I could say, if you're a fan of Italian sports cars, there's a certain artistry to that engine, right? It's a beautiful thing. So if you're into it and you're into the eye candy element and you got 125 grand sitting around, give or take, maybe you want a Ferrari engine coffee table. I don't know where else you're going to snort your Coke. In a mirror? I mean, anybody could do that, but you want to look at that Ferrari engine while you rev yours. Yeah. Full disclaimer, do not do cocaine. I never did cocaine, and I stand by that statement. So, because I come from, my philosophy is if you can't put it down, don't pick it up. Hunter Biden. Yeah, I said it. All right. Mahurin also signed CP's Something Wicked, which is a segue to my good news for the day. Today, I received David Ho's Roman numeral contributor copy of Something Wicked This Way Comes. That is bonkers. Congrats to you, Jason. I think you win. You win in this book collecting fight club we have going on. I don't know if anybody else can top a Roman. We're all sitting around. We got our cards. You know what cards I'm holding. And then Jason comes up to the table and he's like, but damn. He drops that Something Wicked This Way Comes. You know what? Number one, Roman numeral. Okay, you can't get around that. Number two, David Ho's personal copy. And then everybody else at the table just takes their cards and folds tonight. Tonight, it's too rich for their blood. They just walk away. Congrats, Jason. That is a hell of a score. Michael Blatty will be special guest on Paul Suntup's next live video. Yeah, he'll probably crawl in through the window. You'll see somebody have to wrestle him to the ground and escort him off. It's going to be called Suntup and Blatty editions. I don't know how Paul feels about it. All I know is I've seen comments from the fans. Some people are a little fed up with it. Some people are loving those that peek behind the curtain. I'm in between. I think it's interesting, but I think it's interesting, but when you're bombarded with so many posts, you stop reading after a while. Unless it's something that's like a continuous saga. If he wrote chapbooks, you're like, well, what's going to happen next? And he wrote some good stories, then you're going to dive back in. But if he's like, hey, here's another behind the scenes, and Stephen King can go F off, and okay. Or it's great, and it's all there. And you know what? It's there, and it's recorded, and people can go back, if they want to peruse the Blatty posts. So I would rather have it and ignore it than not have it and wish we had some insiders sharing things. So I think all around it's a net good thing. An interaction for money. Yes, it was. I did something for money, man. If you have never done cocaine, why are you talking smack on cocaine? I just know that the people I know who have done cocaine can't stop doing cocaine on their own. And to me, when you hand over autonomy and control of your own life in such an overt way, I know what you're saying. Jeff, I can see your addiction behind you. So don't talk about autonomy and self-control when you got that. I understand. But I can stop anytime, man. Maybe cocaine is awesome and you just don't know. Okay, well, this is funny. I got a whole lot of stuff to get to, and I'm a half hour into it. But I will say this one thing. Crack.com was David Wong. Jason Pargan was the editor of Crack.com. I used to love that before I even knew about John Dies at the End. I used to read it religiously. And somebody, I think it was Sean Baby or John Cheese, wrote an article about crack. And they said about they did it. And they did it as some sort of I don't know, narcotic tourism type thing. They wanted to see what all the hubbub was about. And the person, before they did the crack, said, no matter what, I'm going to work tomorrow. I made this vow to myself before I started. And the person said, if I did not make that vow to myself, I'd be a junkie. Because he said crack was the best thing he ever did. It was amazing. But he made a promise to himself, and he got himself out of bed, went to work, and got some distance, and he was able to stop the train somewhat, But it's a hell of a thing to be addicted to. It wouldn't be addictive if you smoked it and it just made you really, really, really sad, right? You think it's got to have some sensory, emotional payoff, but at what cost? Yes, your very soul. So I like me. Not really. Jeff said it was okay to do cocaine if I do it in a Ferrari coffee table. Woohoo! I mean, you can. I'm just saying, if you have the money to buy a Ferrari coffee table. Now, I don't know if Lamborghini does it or Bugatti. Maybe there's like, if you have a 15-room mansion, you're going to need a couple of these. And don't try driving your Ferrari into your house and using it as a coffee table. Unless you have a lot of cocaine. You know what you do? Here's what you do. You drive your Ferrari right into your mid-century modern all glass wall, right? You go right through. You get out, you spike a football. I don't know why you have a football, but you spike it right there in the living room. You reach inside, you crack that rear view mirror off, You put cocaine on there, you snort it, you get back in the Ferrari, and you go to the bathroom. That's what you do. I don't even know if Ferraris have rear view mirrors. They probably have some indentured servant that sits and only looks backwards in your back seat and tells you what's behind you. Hey, Fredo, what's back? I imagine this indentured servant's Italian. It's an Italian car company. Hey, Fredo, what's back there? No, you're all good, boss. Thank you. Give me a massage. And pass me the cocaine. So if you, is my dad being weird? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ian. You had to hear all this. If I can continue to share recent good fortune, last week I received Daryl Schweitzer's Roman numeral contributor copy of Straub's Julia. Oh, Jason's like, you know what? I won this card match, but now I want to make everybody just crushed under the weight. I played 4 aces, and you know what? I got 4 more. Bam. Well, that's another round of applause. He was the only contributor not on the original signature sheet. Damn. I'm so jealous, man. That is amazing. That's great. I'm bluffing Jason's cards with my Amazon Tom Hanks book on the way. What? Oh, Amazon's Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, for some reason, I keep seeing everybody trying to sell me a book with his signature in it. I don't want it. Go to hell. I don't know who you are. You're not my jam. What's the news about Joe Hill? Spill it before I gotta go. Okay, well, since Flash has got to drive his Ferrari to the bathroom, do some coke in there. Joe Hill has got a novella coming out from Conversation Tree Press. It's coming out in a hoity-toity, is all the bells and whistles, letterpress. It's a novella, Fawn, which I have 2 copies of. I mean, I have it in Full Throttle, and I have it at Home in the Dark. So, and I have it in my inscribed Full Throttle, inscribed to Jeffing Off, which is the old channel name, if you guys remember. And so yeah, it's going to be in all bells and whistles. Joe Hill from Conversation Tree Press. And if you're a Joe Hill fan, details, go subscribe to their newsletter. Price isn't set yet. It's going to be a standard, a numbered, a lettered, and a Roman numeral of this novella. I have no idea what the prices are going to be. If you want to think of Conversation Tree did Peter Pan was their last release. I don't know if it was published or not. I don't know if it's in hand. Looked beautiful, and so he's doing some great work. He's working with a great bookbinder to make book magic. Joe Hill's not my jam. Another fine press to follow is not my jam, but I'm giving you the jelly. Jam and I didn't. So yeah. So that's it. My wife would be way more excited about that. Wait. Oh, the Tom Hanks. Yeah. How about a Corvair engine? That's the most dangerous car in the world. That was what it was known as. He's got a letterpress novella. Yeah. I was fed up with the way Amazon ships my books, so I bought a book I wanted from Books A Million. Now the book has been released. It has not shipped from my BAM, but I got 7 emails a day from BAM. Yeah. Jeff, one of your spawn are here, the one that answers to Ian. I know. He's floating around. He's embarrassed. He's doing a little bit of a flex because I made him a mod. So now he's stalking, and he wants you to know he's stalking. He's going to keep the porn bots away. Round of applause for my son, because that's nepotism. I'm splitting the bank tonight with him. He's making bank tonight. And then I got another proud daddy moment. But yes, pass. I pass on all presses that have somebody as an investor. if you're following along on a replay and you see the live chat, then you know what the name was. I just don't do that because I don't want to be sued for libel, slander, which that doesn't qualify as either of those things. I'm just copping out, They're as bad as Amazon. Only bought one book from them. Came wrapped in thick paper and was damaged. Never again. The last books I got from Books A Million will be the last books I'll ever get from Books A Million because it came in some sort of vacuum sealed bag that wasn't an envelope and it wasn't a box. It was some sort of disgusting hybrid that didn't work. And so I'll never buy from them again. VJ Books. If you want signed editions, go to VJ Books. They only do signed first editions. They have UK hardcovers there. Great people. They'll ship it. My first interaction with them wasn't so great, but every interaction with them since has been phenomenal. Go to them, go to them, go to them, and just go to them. Another one, acceptable one would be Barnes & Noble, I think. I think they do a good job as well. Other than that, you're kind of risking things, Will it be more expensive than a gram of cocaine? I don't know what a gram of cocaine goes for. It'll be cheaper than a Ferrari coffee table. So if you got 24 grand, you'll be good. And that's like the low end. I don't know if a Ferrari coffee table for 24 grand, does that like still have oil in it? Like, I don't know what if the price goes from 124 to 24, that's the range. I don't expect much for that $24,000 coffee table. I mean, you got to use coasters on that, I'd assume. But it's glass. Don't know. You just let Fredo figure that out. He'll show up, clean that coffee table for $124,000. You better get that. Toss in a Fredo. I'm looking forward to Conversation Tree's upcoming Weird series. What's up, Kyle? Kyle's here. Kyle did a kick-ass drum. I don't know what you would call it. It's not like a lip sync. It's a drum. He played along with the new Metallica album, which is just dank, man. New Metallica album. Shadows Follow. Boom! And Kyle, I'd like to see you do Lux Eterna. I don't know if that's how you say it. That you would, man, I don't know, man. Say what you will about Lars, and I've said plenty of hateful things. The guy can drum, man. So welcome to see you tonight. I'm late, but I was traveling to New York City tonight as I'm attending a private taping of Bono at the Beacon for his upcoming Blu-ray. Nice. Bono. They don't know it's Christmas, Bono. Do they know it's Christmas? What an absolute asshole thing to say, Bono. Do they know it's Christmas? What? Talk about white savior complex. Don't tell Bono I said that, Kyle. Don't tell him. That Irish guy will come right over here, kick me in the Lucky Charms. Bono. Oh, I see how it is. Oh, don't worry, Potato. You're going to get your 15 minutes. Wifey wants flowers from Algernon from Conversation Tree. No idea when that will come out. Well, you gotta do it. I'm also trying to keep him in check from talking about drugs. And the next week, I'm going to show up with a shock collar because he's going to go power mad. The book I want is not available from VJ or most specialty booksellers. Oh, that sucks. VJ Books from the win, nothing but with success. Yeah. Night, Jeff. It was thick paper. Right, Jeff. Oh, it was like thick paper suction onto the book. Not good. And it was a fricassee. Oh. Oh. Tom Hiddleston and Mark Hamill to star in King's The Life of Chuck, directed by Flanagan. Nice. I got it. I would like to see it. Flanagan, awesome stuff that guy does. Ian is a narc. He's My hair is, you know what? I should have Ian or somebody be my stylist. Maybe Fredo will come out and figure something out. My stylist is in town. She can come over here and do my hair live. All right. So what else? What else do we talk about? We got to talk a lot to talk about. Well, since I'm going to talk about, you know what? Let's talk about books real quick. New folio collection coming out tomorrow. Flanagan has an awesome book collection. He does, yeah. A new Midworld dropped. I have Midworld on here. I think the folio collection tomorrow, that's like really all I got to say. But if you're a folio, you know, if that's your thing and you're like, they're going to have one horror book in the stack. Every time folio comes out with a new collection, I'm underwhelmed. I did get their Blood Meridian. I passed on their Misery. A couple of books. I did want Turn of the Screw. I did want that. I still would want that. If anybody's got an extra folio Turn of the Screw sitting around, I would take it. Great story, great writing. I don't make them like that anymore. But I don't have a whole lot of hope for tomorrow. And they say a horror book, and it could be anything. People are speculating it's a King book. Which would be cool. That'd be cool. But if they have the same artist who did the other two King books, it's a pass. It's an easy pass. I mean, especially with my buying freeze, which has just been abused. It's been used and abused. It's laying bloody on the sidewalk. But the folio collection tomorrow. Midworld dropped an Andy Davidson title. What do we got? It's signed by Lansdale. And then they also have a release, an announcement from Nathan Ball-in-Grud. Ball-in-Grud. Ball-in-Grud or Balling-Rudd. I don't know how to say his name. His first name's Nathan. Let's just call him Nathan. They're doing an announcement with the guy, and a lot of people are really tickled and stimulated by that news. I am not one of them. Passing it along to you. You may want that. You may want that book to throw down on your Ferrari coffee table someday. And that will be from Midworld. But the Andy Davidson book looks good. It's signed by Joe Lansdale, which is great. Joe Lansdale has another signature that wildly fluctuates across editions. I happen to think Fredo signed some of them for him. He's driving his Ferrari. Hey, Fredo, he throws a stack of sheets back there. Take your eyes off the road. Sign these sheets for me. Because they don't look the same. But, so that's cool. The Midworld stuff is cool. I'm still waiting to get my John Dies at the End, which is going to be June, hopefully. It's what it said on the site. And I don't think it's sold out yet. Which is kind of crazy. I thought that would be long gone. In the folio collection teaser photo, looks like a new King title. Yeah. Over, under on Suntop releasing at least 3 of the folio titles in the next year. Now, I don't know what's first. You know, Suntop does a book, and then folio does it. Folio does a book, and then Suntop does it. UK rights, US rights. I don't know how that goes. The only thing I will say is I was glad folio did The Road and Blood Meridian because Suntop didn't do artist editions on those. 3 of 8. I'll go with the under. SST new announcement was pretty sweet. Still secret, I think. Yes, that's also on deck. So tomorrow you got folio to look at. Wednesday, if you want to go Jeff your shelf, check out SST. If you're subscribed to their newsletter, you're going to get a book announcement on Wednesday. It's pretty damn awesome. People who bought a book previous to this title already bought it. So I'm one of those people who already bought the book and is a must-read author for me, a must-buy author for me. So yes, the buy and freeze thought a little bit, and I would say you go do it on Wednesday. See what you think. Stupid awesome art. Wednesday. So yeah, yes. New Levidian is already sold out. Really? That was next. We're gonna talk about Levidian. Seven Shades of Evil, which I think is a L'Oreal color palette for the makeup. Oh, which Seven Shades of Evil are you? Oh, I believe I'm modestly malicious. Uh, I mean, this is why I get the thumbs down. But I can't do anything about me. That should be a shirt. I can't do anything about me. I didn't realize it's already sold out. The limited and the trade, huh? Oh man. Wow. Yeah, it's the next Matthew Corbett book. Which I gotta say, the man is probably coming back to Alabama Booksmith to sign the trade edition. So I'm gonna want to go there. If you guys are McCammon fans, follow Alabama Booksmith however you can. I think I'm on their newsletter. I think I might, or follow Robert McCammon on Facebook, and they'll Alabama Booksmith is in Birmingham, right? Yeah, I believe so. And great time, man. Great time. I will want to see Robert McCammon every time he's there, and I will make it happen every time I can. So, so that's what I'm going to say. And I feel a visit coming on. Feel it. Hunter Goatley told me it was going to happen for his next book. Stay tuned. This is before that book was announced. So now I'm staying tuned. Joe's Sig is always different, but you can always tell it's him. Yeah, I think so, but I'm not an expert. Sweet, but expected. Still waiting for something new and unexpected from SST. Been a long time. So I know what you're thinking. Yes, he's doing a lot of the same authors and a lot of that. It's kind of comforting to me. So, but yes, I just want Paul Fry to like his Night of the Living Dead was amazing, or The Living Dead. That book was beautiful, and that was outside Lansdale, Mallerman, Tremblay, Hendricks. So yes, I'd love to see him do a Sarah Pinborough, or other authors. Phil Fracassi, Blake Crouch, be great. That would be great. Just want to say good evening. Hey, Steven, good to see you. Glad you're here. I agree, Jason. I want to see some new authors. Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. is on fire tonight. They have well, he's speaking truth to power. They all get sold, bought around the same time due to anniversaries. Yeah, I think that's true. I already bought it as well. My freeze is on for all but 4 authors. So I stopped my Levidian streak. Oh, McCammon's not one of them. Yeah, who are the 4? King, Mallerman, Tremblay, and Fracassi. It's a good set of 4, man. Mallerman and Fracassi. I could pass on a Tremblay. I don't want to. I like the 2 books I've read from him were stellar, Cabin and Head Full of Ghosts. But I'm looking outside and I'm remembering the raccoon and remembering how I started. That's now part of internet history. Raccoon on the porch. And I could probably pass on a King. But Mallerman and Fracassi are must-haves. And so I guess if you had to say who are your must-haves, Jeff, okay, I'll answer that. I'll take that one question. Fracassi, Mallerman, Pargin. I had the other one, and Thomas Oldehuvelt. Those are 4 musts. And then Tremblay, Lansdale, Pinborough, Keelan Patrick Burke. Chad Lutsky's up there too, is a must buy. Yeah. Those are the ones that, you know, I have to sit and get. I just now got an email from Lividian. My order has shipped. What? What order? What? Huh? You lost me, man. Because it was a pre-order from Lividian for the new Robert McCammon. Oh, Gone South. Gone South. Yes. Oh, I passed on that. Yeah. Yeah, I passed on Gone South. Wow, that's shipping already? Damn. Is it? Is that what it was? The shipment includes following items. The border review. Okay. Okay. All right. So I got ahead of myself. And he has The Hunger Coming, new author, Alma Katsu. Yeah. Tremblay would be the least likely of those for me to pass. Ooh, Jason. Really? Tremblay is I guess I need to read Disappearance at Devil's Rock. Well, I need to read everything else. I only read those two. And then, I have them and I do like them. I'm glad I have. I'm not selling them. That's interesting. That bumps him up. So Fracassi, Lansdale, Mallerman, Stephen Graham Jones representing. Speaking of which, is another SST author. I've read almost everything he's written, and I like them all. That's great. Lutsky and Fracassi are at the tippy top of my must-read list. That's awesome, Randy. I like hearing that. And Lutsky's got a new book. I linked it in the description. You can get it on Amazon and pre-order it. It's a paperback, so you get the Beef Daddy approval to buy a paperback from Amazon or any other bookseller you book buy from. You could buy from anybody, really, but How the Skin Sheds is the new Chad Lutsky splatter western. Paperback, $16, no hardcover that I saw. So, Randy, that's your assignment. You're going to want it. Just getting into Robert McCammon, in part based on your rec, Jeff, starting with Boy's Life, then Gone South. That's cool. Boy's Life, I have to read. It was so deeply personal when I met him, and he gave the talk about it, about King of Shadows, that it was so deeply personal, Boy's Life, that it really moved it up. So Swan Song's amazing. Wolf's Hour's amazing. The Listener's amazing. Speaks the Nightbird's amazing. You can't go wrong. The only one book I didn't really get into, which I want to reread, is Stinger. But other than that, everything I've read by him has been great. Just great. He's such a treasure, man. So I'm glad that works for you. Fracassi, Mallerman, Stephen Graham Jones, McCammon, Ligotti, Klein, possibly a few others. Jeff, are you doing a live tomorrow or Wednesday? No, just tonight. Just Monday nights, Russell. So I might do other videos this week, but there's a little fest I might be going to. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a little something live there. I don't know. Fracassi is my main top. That Stephen Graham Jones and Mellerman are under him. Now, I haven't read any Stephen Graham Jones, so there's that. That's me confessing. Can't wait to check out Lutsky's new one. I'm all over Splatter Western if it comes from the Chad's mind. Yeah. I haven't really read any Splatter Westerns, but this looks awesome. I love the cover art. It's Death's Head Press, which is cool. I dig them. So, Jeff, have you started Lord Fowl's Bane? No! Damn it. See, I'm still reading. Okay. I understand. Like, you're like, at this point, Jeff, you should be writing the book. Like, it's taking longer to read the book than it did to write it. I'm reading Confederacy of Dunces. I absolutely adore it. It's not horror. It's not anything I can really sum up. It's just basically an indictment of institutions. It's a full-on assault on academia. Somewhat on capitalism, but not really. It's more or less an assault on institutions, law enforcement, corporate America, academia mostly, though. That's what I'm getting from it. Maybe there are other interpretations, but wow, this book is like, I mean, I could see the whole idea of educated fool coming from this book. So yes, and on top of that, I have Keelan Patrick Burke books I want to read. I'm going to reread Boys in the Valley. I have Midas by Tyler Jones that I have to read. So many that I have to read. I'm just crawling through that one, but I'm not going to stop. And Lord Fallsbane is near the top. So no, I haven't read it yet, but I have a few McCammon, but never read him yet. I think you'll really like him, Mike. I think you would really like him. Swung my best deal in quite some time. A fine 1 of 500 centipede slipcase oversized copy of Frankenstein with Ward woodcuts for about 10 to 15% of its secondary value. Guess rare deals still happen. Oh, no, deals are all over the place right now, I think, Ron. I think deals are to be found right now. Go to the Fans of Suntub site, and it is like you're getting numbered editions for artist edition rates. I saw somebody, I think, selling a Butcher Boy numbered for $175. That breaks my heart, but it makes me happy to think somebody who couldn't get such a wonderful book can. It opens it up for a lot of people who might not have been able to reach for that sort of reading experience. So it's bittersweet, but right now it's a buyer's market, big time, and go get those deals, man. Go get that bread. I'm a John Ferris kick right now. I'm in the middle of the Fury. I have the Fury. I got it from Nocturnal Reader's Box. A long time ago when I was just a pup, I tried reading All Heads Turn When the Hunt Goes By, and I got like 5 pages into it, and I DNF'd it, and then it got lost. So, but that's interesting. I've had the Fury, and I wanted to read it. Read Mongrels first. If you don't like Mongrels, Stephen Graham Jones is not for you. I'll have to do that. Mongrels is so good, but I like The Only Good Indians better. Can't go wrong with either of them. Nice. I'll have to do it. The Alabama Booksmith is taking pre-orders for the limited of 7 Shades of Evil. Signed copies of the trade available. There will be signing event at the Alabama Booksmith October 2023. See me there, October 2023. Me and Tim Bedwell. We will be there. He's the bouncer. All Head Turns When the Hunt Goes By was the best book I've read in a long time. Oh, well, see. So I read it when I was just stupid. Now I'm stupider. So I don't know if I'll like it. But I was just a kid. Just a kid with a pack of smokes rolled up in my sleeve. My hair in a duck ass. Switchblade. Shaking down squares for their cash. I didn't know no better. I sold my Butcher Boy number for $600 before The Handmaid's Tale. I may rebuy it for sub 200. You sold your Butcher Boy, Joshua? I don't know. You might get kicked out now. I'm just kidding. I should have a disclaimer. Only opinions of the host are valid. That's a welcoming message for people. $600. Well, you won, man. You scored. that was I think back in the day, all those titles that were drawing just $500 for the rights alone, those days are gone. I don't know if they'll ever come back. Right now, I'm worried. Suntop, man, don't fly too close to the sun. I don't know. I don't know how. I can't navigate anybody out of anything. But when you see these prices going for what they are right now, if that's not a mainstream blockbuster title on the sales block, from the publisher, people are just going to wait it out and buy it on the secondary because it's so soft that they're guaranteed a deal unless it's going to be like a Stephen King title would still sell out from Suntop. I mean, they all still sell out, but it's funny because it's like, do they stay sold out? And then what's the buzz on the next book? Are people holding? You know, there's no more of that buying and selling without rights to just maintain your seat. Maybe make a little gravy on top, or just sell it for cost and keep your ticket on the train. That's all over now. Try again. World War II, voodoo, Africa, sex goddess, can't go wrong. Oh, well, I will try again. I will. Ship has sailed right into the heart of the sun. I look for Suntop to cut the numbers down, or maybe cut down a number of books per year. So many didn't sell out in the past 6 months or so, but who knows? Maybe not. Yeah, I think Suntop's coming back to 250. I think Suntop might choose to not do an artist edition with every release. I have no inside information on that. But I don't know how Paul could just not do a book every month. That's what I would advise if I had his ear and he was, open to hearing that. I would say do 2 a quarter, or you skip a month. Do 1 every other month. Do 6 titles a year or something. I don't know. But when the brand is built on limitation and luxury item, and it's flooded, and the market's flooded with discount priced editions, you're going to, and you keep putting out product, it's the secondary doesn't really matter. And he'll say that he doesn't care what the secondary market does. He's building books in good faith based on the cost of materials and the cost of his overhead and whatever that is. And, the money he makes funds future projects. And the secondary is arbitrary, but until it's not, because the secondary, if people can wait you out and just become vultures, now it matters. And I hate to see that happen. Paul can't, he's contractually obligated to release these books. I won't be surprised. Maybe bring back the Suntop arcs. I don't know why he would do that. That's a sunk cost. I mean, that's arcs. If they're proofreading copies to make sure the book is going to be bound right and all that, that's one thing. That's to keep the book on track and to do quality assurance. But giving out arcs anymore is printing them with those nice covers and all that. He hasn't done that in a while, and he's like got to find his cost savings where he can. He's got to keep that money flowing through, and he's going to have a warehouse full of books. I wouldn't be surprised eventually there are Suntop titles that only get AEs instead of high price number. Oh, that's interesting. You're going that route. I think he would just cut out the AEs, because the AEs are the ones he's storing. He's got like almost 200 legions sitting there. A lot of AEs. He sold out the Poe one, but they're numbered. There are zombies. There are outsiders, butcher boys, collectors, Johnnies. I mean, they're all there. If he looks at his warehouse or whatever storage container he has with all the AEs, and he thought, if I didn't do AEs, I wouldn't have these. His numbered editions are fewer. He's got, Stepford Wives didn't hit his store yet. It's not shipping, so he doesn't have those physical copies to deal with. But all that just piles up. But we can buy in the aftermarket cheaper. It has to hurt him. Yeah. Jeff, do you think the secondary slowdown is more particularly focused on Suntop than other publishers? I don't think it's more focused on Suntop, but I think he had the furthest to fall. If he did 6 titles a year and there were fewer Suntop titles out in the world, and they were harder to get their hands on, they wouldn't. But there's so many, and they are so, when people are having these books because they wanted the next book and not particularly that book, then they're just like, I don't want it anymore. Rights don't mean anything. I can liquidate, but the demand's not there anymore because people are like, well, a lot of people only bought that book for the next book. Perhaps. I'm not saying that's the case, but no, they're like, I don't want it anymore. And they're not going to get the FOMO price. They're just going to get whatever the market demand, and the demand is diluted because also there are many other presses trying to do what Suntop did out there, and Conversation Tree Press. Oh, there's a Hill book. There's a Hill book or a William Peter Blatty book. That so people are going to make those choices. And Legion, the numbered sold. There are all those artist editions. Well, there's only so much money to go around anymore. Inflation, economy, fears about all that stuff. So that there's a more competitive market. There's a lot of Suntop books out there, and there are fewer dollars competing for all of that. It's tough. So I think it might have hit Suntop, or at least. And I think a lot of people are getting rid of Suntop books because, all right, you paid $500. You could still get $200, $300 for that book. It's still a lot of money. It's not like you paid $250 for a book and now it's only $50. And then you're like, well, after eBay takes its cut or whatever, and then I got to worry about it getting to the person in the mail, and all those headaches ain't even worth it. You could still get $200 or $300 for a $500 book is still good money. So there's more fat on the bone, more meat on the bone, and less fat, of course, but more meat on the bone for people to recoup something. So you're going to see a lot of people do that. And there are people waiting to scoop up those deals. I came here to chew bubble gum and watch Jeff rant, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Okay, take it easy, Phil. Glad you were here. So, Chad, I talked about your book. I told everybody to go to Amazon and get it. I would like a signed edition. Is there anywhere? You got to talk to VJ Books, Chad. Get VJ Books to do signed Chad Lutsky editions, and I could send people there, and it'll be shipped a lot better. But anyway, go get the Chad Lutsky book. If you can't get it signed, get it. It looks cool. I like that cover too. Sorry, Chad. I know you do your own covers. And sorry. But I highly recommend that book. Yeah, and those arcs are still there even after AEs are still there even after a substantial sale. Yep. You should do, oh, hey, new body. Good to see you. He should do less AEs, like 500 to 750. Those amounts tend to sell. He just printing too many of them. I know. And I think he'll go to 750. Will he go back to the 500? I think at that point, he'll probably just decide AE or no AE for this title. And I don't know what he's got locked in for the upcoming year, but I could see him playing with those dials to the extent that he can, because he's got to weather this out, this economy and this this buyer's market attitude. So he's got to do what it takes to survive. And I'm not saying he's in any trouble. He's still, all things considered, Paul Suntop has kicked ass selling books. all things considered. I would be very, very concerned for Curious King if I bought their stuff, not the market to overextend. I know. Yeah, I'm hoping to get my blade itself, but I won't be surprised if Curious King folds. Oh, don't say that. I hope not. Which book are we talking about? We were talking about all kinds of things. We were talking about Suntop, but your book, I was talking about how the skin sheds. I'll do a VJ book. I'm here for it. We'll talk to him. Well, you got to get him to do it. Wait, what's the word on Curious King? I thought they were basically just getting going. They were, but it's hard. I mean, that's the thing. It's like it's like a little tree just blossoming out of the earth. I'm doing interpretive dance now. Wiggle, 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 wiggle up to the sun. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then a cold snap hits. Damn! And that little tree dies. Oh, good night, tree. So Curious King is a young fledgling press that I totally support. I was promised the standard edition of the blade itself for doing the contest, and I'm desperately looking forward to that. But beyond that, I love that passion. I love Anthony K's passion for that. He did an insanely awesome job for Ready Player One. And that is the kind of visionary, that person, just like Paul Suntop, who has that passion and that vision that, I support, that real artist business person. Hey, everyone, don't forget Zagava slipcase for the Kasi to show up. For is now up for pre-order. Yes, for Kasi. Don't let them get you down. Slipcases on the site. You gotta get it. It's gonna be a slipcase that matches the Egotist. So, also, if you're a Fracassi freak, Playlist of the Damned is a Kickstarter. It's in my description of this video. Go support the Kickstarter if you want a Fracassi short story in an anthology. Looks awesome. Looks like I also missed the boat. I'm buying a $24 hardcover. Now there's $79 hardcovers. Nobody's more pissed off than I am. But I will tell you that. Yes, I will tell you that. I hope Curious King does okay. I like the titles he's doing. Fully pre-ordered the N.K. Jemisin book. It looks like it will be beautiful. Yes, I hope they do. Hope they do. Oh, yeah. Justin Coons did the cover for How the Skin Sheds. He did a great job. I dedicated the book to Lansdale. Nice. Gonna get it, Chad. I'm gonna get it. Lots of rights being secured and paid for, nothing being completed from Curious King. Yeah. Speaking of Lansdale, when you moved your books around, did you make sure to keep him and me spooning? Him and I spooning? Yes, Chad. Yes. I don't know if you should be able to see it. Look at that. What is that, Chad? That's Moon Lake. What is this, Chad? Halo of Flies. What is this? Cannibal Creator. They're all Lansdale and Lutsky. And has nothing to do with alphabetical order. It's Lansdale and Lutsky Town. Right in every single goddamn shot of my videos. There you are, Chad. I mean, my big fat head's in the way a lot. So there's that. And then right below that, Fracassi, and right below that, Mallerman. A lot of these new presses from the past few years don't have too much faith in. They jumped in seeing the sales during COVID, and now that's over. Yes. It is that way. How many Curious King books have they pre-sold at this point? Only knew of 2. Haven't ordered anything from them. Yeah. They did they did the N.K. Jemison's Blade itself. So the Blade itself is a series. The Broken Earth trilogy, I think that's Jemison's, is a series. Were they the ones that did Hitchhikers? guide, Douglas Adams, I believe. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of getting these titles on lockdown, and people are getting nervous. They just want to see that book in their little hands. See what I'm saying? So that's where Jason's coming from. I'm not speaking for Jason, but you know. I think just the two sales, the others were just acquisition announcements. Yes. Um, so yeah, that's I'm rooting for Curious King. All right, who keeps messaging me? I'm doing a live. Uh oh no. Okay. Um I'm just gonna shut that so it doesn't keep dinging. Oh, okay. Um yes. So um what did I write? Oh, I wrote fawn. Okay. So yes, I'm a little gonna get back into it. Gonna get the brain back into it. Little shifting of gears here. Hitchhikers was supposed to be just the first one. Okay. They also announced the Hyperion Cantos. Damn. So wow, he did everything. Yeah, maybe that could have been like what I said with Paul Suntop is Icarus. You don't you want to fly. You don't want to fly too high because your wings will melt and you'll crash into the ocean. You don't want to fly too low because you get dragged down by the waves. You want to find that nice sailing height. Maybe Curious King launched right into the sun with acquisitions. So I hope to God not, because it looked like he was doing some awesome stuff. I think the blade itself, the hang up on that, and this is now that the muddy brain has gurgled up some information. I do recall issues with art. So I don't know if he had an issue with the artist for first the blade itself, the first law. Um, and then he's holding back on he's got ahead of himself a little bit announcing and he's pulling back a little bit until he has finished art before he starts taking dollars, before he starts opening pre-orders and showing pictures and going deeper. I think that first out the gate was a lesson. I think he released a little. He talked about a little early, and the artist wasn't turning over art in a timely way, and that sort of logjam things. That's what I think. That's what I recall. Yeah, the art is running behind. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Um, is England having the same inflation issues? There's inflation all over. If not, then Curious King might be in a better position. I think that all depends on what the pound does to the dollar. That's what I always look at before I buy anything from SST. I'm like, how's the dollar doing? Like like I have the tape coming out of the stock ticker with my monocle. What's the dollar doing against the pound today? um, but I do look because it's like, wow, the dollar's really taking an ass beating. Think it'll dip tomorrow? Like maybe I'll buy it tomorrow, but I can't go out too far in the future because it'll sell out. Oh, so yeah, but inflation's pretty much worldwide. At least that's what I remember hearing in the news. But I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know what's true. Is this just all a simulation anyway? I've been doing the small press thing for 35 years, and I'm seeing from CK a lot of the hallmarks of many of the small presses that went under. Oh, some before they even got out the gate. That's sad. Yeah, I know. And that's people put their hearts into it. One of the big selling points on Blade itself was that the book was relatively cheap for the specs. I'm concerned that he's having trouble creating the book he promised with the money he received. Yeah, you know what? That would be a shame and harsh. I'm rooting for him though, man. Anthony K. I'm rooting for the guy. He sounds like a great guy. And And that's the thing. That's the dance. It's an art. It's a business. It's a passion. But at the end of at the end of the day, it's economics and it's a math problem you have to solve. Curious King subtracted all of their limited editions to Cemetery Dance. That's a rough joke. That's a rough joke. Speaking of Cemetery Dance, I was tickled going to the product update page. They had this disclaimer they have all these frequently asked questions. Where's my this? Why am I waiting for that? And the one thing is like, how come I don't have my hardcover edition? Where's my hardcover edition of Gothic? And that's what it was for about a month. Well, they didn't take that down. They only added to it. They added, what did they add? They added DMV. Where's my hardcover edition of DMV? That's a bad look, man. You and your trade edition line is log jamming, derailing. These train cars are just crashing into one another. That's bad news, man. You don't have the excuses of waiting on signature sheets, waiting on paper, waiting on tray cases, waiting on the artist. You don't have all those excuses. It's a down and dirty file that you've designed. You've proofread and designed the page layout. There's no goddamn art in it. You got the cover done. Now what's the holdup? It's getting to be a rant territory. I understand that. I'm rant triggered. And if he jumps the price up a bunch on book 2, folks are likely to revolt. I know. It's a no-win situation. Still haven't got mine. Yeah. Nobody has. Oh, you're Gothic? Me too. I only wish failure and pain for 2 people, and neither of them are Anthony K. Oh my gosh. Stop screwing with my karma. It's funny. Okay, so I had a note here about Suntup. I had Boom Goes the Dynamite because The Outsider was ready to ship, and Paul rejected the slipcases for The Outsider numbered edition and is going to redo them all. Wow. I gotta say, I don't know what the flaw in the slipcase was. I don't know who's eating that cost, because that is a huge cost to someone. Because I got the Have You Moved email. He was processing these, taking the book, numbering it, putting it in a slipcase, putting it in the bag, putting it in the box, putting it in the mail. So we got to step 1 of that numbering. Pick the book up, put it in the slipcase. Boom. Doesn't work. Something's wrong. Sends them all back. I mean, that to me says if it wasn't obvious, if it was something where the book was not fitting into the slipcase and it would damage the book, then yeah, that's no way out of that situation. You can't send it. But that's a huge move. So that's definitely some quality assurance is taking place, Stephen, where that's a lot of money and a lot of pain for someone. That's huge. That is huge. Yeah, that Gothic mess is disgusting. Tired of seeing the excuses. I'm just glad I got mine. And I'm done with CD. Hopefully they do no other fracassi. Who's excited for Cold Moon? Yeah, that's Centipede Press, Cold Moon, pass for me. Charles Grant, pass for me. Madman, which was the Lafferty, was a pass for me. So I'm kind of happy that Jared is putting books out that I can freeze. I can freeze on. Stop the Press. Is Suntup made a difficult QA call? Makes me nervous hearing about the continued Gothic mishaps with CD after signing with them for release next year. Something I had reservations about. Chad, hope to God they get it straightened out. Number 1. Hope they get their legs under them. There's no excuse. They're the longest running press in this game that I'm talking about on this channel, at least. And so there's no excuse. But I hope they do it. And I will say this. If CD does a Fracassi, I'm buying it. If CD does a Lutsky, I'm buying it. If CD does a Mallerman, I'm buying it. Unless it's a limited. I don't think I'm going to do a limited. But if you did a limited with them, Chad, I will buy that. But I'm holding out hope, Chad. I just think that CD has burnt a lot of goodwill with the customer base, and they're starting to burn a lot of goodwill with authors. So you got to keep your customers and your suppliers and your artists and authors happy. You have to do that. It takes parent pants. Put on your adult. It takes adult pants. Put on your adult pants and figure this shit out, because I want my Lutsky book. I'm pretty selective for the Masters of the Weird Tale volumes. Only have the 3 or 4, but had to have the grant. Did I just hear producer Jill do a hiccup? No, she's nowhere near me. Yeah, me too, Jeff. But damn, I just hate having to do business with them. I know, me too. I hope they get it ironed out, I did not do a limited, and I would not. Chad, my man, I will buy the trade edition of whatever you do with them or whatever you do with anybody, Chad. Still really hope we get the wheel from CD one day. I need that art. The wheel. Wait, is that? I don't understand. The wheel? That's a Fracassi. If CD could somehow crank out the Stand and Pet Cemetery in quick succession, they'll wash away a lot of folks' issues with them, right or wrong. No, that's true. It's a little scary how I still don't have the Stand. That's not coming to me till autumn. That's scary. I thought with the frequency of their pre-order page going out, so the Fracassi story, the wheel, yeah. Wow, Mitch, Jeff doesn't know about the wheel. So embarrassing. May kick him out of the group chat. That's fine. That's fine. I understand. I wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would have me, said Groucho. And it stands for me too. So jealous of your Wagner. Never see that bad boy for sale. Master of the Weird Tale, Wagner. It sounds like Jason wants to buy it from you, Ron. So you got to sell it to him. So Folio's Tuesday, SST is Wednesday. A little fun fact: Gauntlet is doing Owen King's Curator. They actually did a little bit of art for the cover. They're like, oh, we'll do a little bit of art this time. We're not just going to get stock image of a lamppost for the Blake Crouch Pines. What a dumpster fire Gauntlet is. So now they're doing Owen King's Curator, which is a way of kissing King's ass, the Daddy King. But if you've watched Sin's book reviews from Sin's Book Nook, friend of the channel, highly endorse Sin, go watch her, subscribe to her channel. She needs more subscribers and more views. They're always fun. It's like visiting with a friend. She does more book reviews than I do. And so you're going to get valid opinions. So go subscribe to her right now, Sin's Book Nook. She did a review of The Curator, and it wasn't very good. I mean, her review was great, but her prognosis is not good. So you're getting a not good book from a bad publisher if you buy the Gauntlet edition of The Curator. Funny times for that. It gave Beef Daddy a chuckle. My beef chuckled. It chuckled. It jiggled my beef. Freak membership revoked. I would like to own that one. Okay, so they're talking about Masters of the Weird Tale. To be fair, we probably hadn't allowed him in the cool club yet. No. Gauntlet. So Mitch, did you get your Paradise Sky? Oh, that's a good question. Who? Are you asking me who? Sin. Sin's Book Nook. SYN. So like synonym. Sin's Book Nook on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. That's what I'm talking about. Paradise Sky, Mitch. Did you get it? Did you get your SST Paradise Sky? Because if you didn't by now, you're all talk. Because that you didn't really want it. You're just like, ooh, I wish I had that book. Anyway, whatever. I don't care. You got it for $65 from Bets. I did not. I couldn't find it on Bets when I looked, but may not have been searching correctly. Granted, Bets does like spreadsheets. You got to email him. Go to Bets, email him, or whatever you do. Say, I want Paradise Sky. He said 8 were available, Mitch. He's not serious, Jason. He's like, oh, totally would have gone to the party, but my car had a flat tire, or my alarm didn't go off. There's always going to be something that keeps him Paradise Sky. And it's a great book. Just busting stones. Because you didn't let me in the group, the cool group. Whatever that is, I'm not in it. But it wouldn't be cool if I was in it. So it's like, I'm never in the cool group. Because once I'm in, it's no longer a cool group. Let me ask my mom if I can buy it, Jeff. Getting the look because we're now at the 90-minute mark. So now this is overtime. Jill's going to appear with After Dark, After Show, the After Show. That's only for Patreon members. There's an after show where Jill gets on and gives me notes about what I did wrong during the live. Speaking of which, I haven't seen... did I have a Z-Man note in here? Z-Man. We got to check. Yes, I am. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. Speaking of Lansdale, I wish that secondary slowdown would impact the price of copies of Earthlings The Thicket, one of the few Lansdale signed limited hardcovers I still need, but it remains scarce and expensive. Does it? Oh. Wow. I have an oversight in my collection. I don't have it. Oh, I see. I have it next to the drive-in. So The Thicket. You mean this one, Ron? I got this from Camelot a long time ago. This is an exquisite Earthling edition, leather slipcase, beautiful book. My favorite Lansdale. Soon to be a movie with Peter Dinklage and Juliette Lewis. Awesome book. It is, Ron. You can't find it. I don't know how scarce it is because I haven't sourced it. It was available for a long time. But speaking of the buyer's market and all that, there are a lot more publishers in the game now, and a lot more customers too. A lot of people are coming to the collecting world, and I think that does make volumes scarcer. But you got a respectable haircut, so we will think about it. Thank you for letting me into the cool club. I've never bought from Betts. I'm gonna email him after this live. New Eve Man vid this week. Great. Come shopping with me content. I saw that. I did see that one. Stage mom wife yells at him a lot. Believe it or not, I actually don't own The Thicket at all in any format. I did buy it once, but gave it to my mom. Well, Mitch or Chad, I cannot send this to you. I can only do so much, Chad. I don't have any copy of The Thicket to send you. If I did, I would. I mean, I do have a copy of The Thicket. I meant extra copy. I would send it to you because that you deserve. You deserve to have that and read it. It's an excellent book. I think Camelot still has it. I love mine. Amazing edition. Yeah. I got mine from Bad Moon Books. Check with him. I think he may even have one. Last I looked, Camelot had the thicket. Really? Yeah. You're not going to buy it though, Mitch. Did producer Jill grow back to her original 4-foot height? She's trying. We're in therapies about it. We're in therapies. I do have some art to share with you. My daughter did. Now, I don't know how it's going to look. My daughter did this. And it's not just that it's this art, right? The art is badass. I would love this piece of art. It looks like a Daniel Sarah piece to me, but it's amazing. And I would love it no matter what. But you know what she used to create this? Her own blood. My daughter used her own blood. Oh, yeah. I know you're calling Child Protective Services right now. I don't blame you. It was a nosebleed that she captured this nosebleed while she was looking for tissue. And my kids don't often have nosebleeds. They occasionally do. Weather was a little dry in the house, I guess. And it got out of, it was a pretty bad nosebleed. And she caught it and then she dabbed her nose, cleaned it up. She was all good. Didn't last that long. It wasn't an abnormally long nosebleed. But when she looked into the bowl to see all the blood, it had started coagulating and she picked it up. It was like a little organ. It was like a liver in there. The nastiest thing I ever saw. So what'd she do immediately? Did she dump the bowl in a toilet and flush it? No. She immediately started making art. Here's another piece. Blood roses. Roses from the noses. It's a jingle I just made up. Blood roses from my daughter's blood. There's one other piece, but she wasn't as proud of that piece. She didn't like it, so she didn't give me permission to share it. Oh, all this is with permission. Oh, man. I'll never forget my family. I was walking around. They're like, hey, ask Elsa about her pet. Her pet. I'm like, okay, what's your pet? And it was, I'm just going to drink the memory away. Drinking that memory away. You never heard Mr. Rogers sing that tune, did you? I freaked out Ian. He couldn't stop me. Couldn't stop me. He was going to shut this down. That art is bloody. It's amazing. $200. Need a secondary slowdown to slap them down a few notches. Camelot will buy and hold, so they're not going to move on the price. You're not going to get that, I don't think. Thank you. Nice piece. It is. It's amazing. I love both of them. But this one's kind of going along with the channel, goes along with the theme. Nice. Reminds me of the movie The Wretched. Really? There's a pretty famous artist, something Castigula, that uses his blood for art. Booger blood art. It's crazy because she was like, it's actually a good medium, or it's a good, it lent itself to create a piece. So that's awesome. There's no green in there. There's no green in there. Vincent Castiglia. You could try emailing Paul Miller. He had a few supposedly ding copies at good prices about a year ago. They weren't listed on the site, but he offered to me when I asked about a year ago. Could not notice any of the dings. Oh, yeah. Always hit up Paul. Hit these publishers up. If they're in a good mood and they keep you in mind and something changes, they're like, okay, that's cool. That was a good person. Keep them in mind. So, damn, that's awesome. Go check it out. Paul Miller's an insanely great guy. So what are you talking about? Folio, SST, Owen King, Suntub, CD, PS Publishing. They're doing it different seasons. I don't know what you guys think about the art in that. A lot of people are really mad about it. They don't think it's good. They think it's different seasons is coming. Getting the stink eye. So that's PS Publishing. There were 12 books in the King Anniversary editions, including different seasons. And I gotta say, they have not figured out how to sell them yet. But the new method is they said, if you've bought at least 2 numbers directly from us and have a special number request, email us and we'll set aside a copy of different seasons for you. So I did, and they emailed me back, said, we're reserving your copy, my number 34, and it's all squared away. But a lot of people think that they had to buy every copy in this series. No, that's not the case. I have 5. And in their email, they said at least 2. So I don't know where this narrative came from that you had to have every other Anniversary King edition. That's not true. But a lot of people were denied that reserve copy. So they're going to try their luck on the public pre-sale. But then there are a lot of people who were turned off by the art, who may skip different seasons, which is a beloved King title. Hans was here hating on the art. That's right. Forgot about that. And so I'm going to get it. I don't have any copy of different seasons. So yeah, I made note of that. Oh, Brian James Freeman, real quick. Awesome guy. Somebody was going to buy Schindler's Ark from him. Sun Tup. He had an abundance of other publishers' titles. Somebody was going to buy it. I'm a little fuzzy on the details. But then the person, when they committed to it and before they could pay or something, said, I can't buy it. I'm going through some health issues right now. It's really bad. I'm sorry, I can't buy this. Please don't ship it, whatever. Then she got a shipping notice from Levidian, and she emailed him back. She said, oh, no, I'm sorry. Did I buy it? I'm sorry. It was confusing. I can't buy it. And when she got the book, it said, it had a nice note from Brian James Freeman. It said, this one's on the house. Oh, melts your heart, man. That is incredible. We're talking about young publishers. Brian James Freeman has a tremendous amount of experience, but his business is just getting off the ground. He's doing it the right way. He's doing it spectacularly. For him to give away another publisher's book free of charge to somebody who's going through a really bad crisis right now was amazing. So Brian James Freeman, if you ever slum it and watch this live for any reason whatsoever, you're a saint. You're an awesome guy. I'd love for everybody who ever watches this channel always support you. Amazing dude. If he wants to slum it, I'm just saying, I'm not saying everybody here is slumming it. I'm just saying I'm not worthy of everybody's attention. I don't know. It's self-deprecating humor. Got to read into it. So anyway, Brian James Freeman is insanely awesome. I want people to get the support to support him. So yes, I'll buy the PS1. I like the new method. I am getting one easily as well. Yeah, I think that you got to there's somebody's like, oh, just because you bought from them before doesn't now you're going to mess it up for me. I'm like, yeah, where were you? You're out of nowhere. You're cherry picking. And these people have been here before. So reward the loyal customer who was here before you. And hopefully you'll get a copy when it goes live. I really, it's annoying to me that people don't want the publisher to favor the loyalty of the customer. Anyway, I have one and a PC of Cujo. Nice. But I said nothing about the art tonight, and yet, no, but your opinion's valid. You didn't like it. You're not wrong for what you think. I tried based off my earlier purchase of Needful Things and Thinner and was denied. Wow. And Needful Things was the most recent one. Huh. That doesn't seem right. Maybe they meant the last 2. I don't like the art either, but no art appeals to everyone. That's true. I saw that, Jeff. What a great guy. That's awesome. I did too, Howie said. I don't know if I said hi to you, Howie. Doesn't ring a bell, but I'm old. Brian James Freeman is a great dude. He is the man. Yes, he's the best. So generous. Yeah, he is. John says, I tried with the last 3 King PS titles with order numbers, but got turned down. Okay, well, I mean, I bought 5. I didn't buy the last 12 or 11. And I've had the same number. Well, I hope you get one, John. Oh, that is a bummer. We talked about the new Chad Lutsky, Centipede Press, Weird House. I think I might have put a link in the thing. They're doing Wolf Hunt 3. Go get that. That's Jeff Strand. Midworld, we talked about. Subpress, no need to talk about. We talked about Levidian. Subpress has a Kelly Armstrong. If that's anybody's bag, go check that out. Fracassi. Oh, Fracassi also shared on social media that he loved How to Sell a Haunted House. He's one of the reasons I'm reading Confederacy of Dunces. So I cannot go wrong with a Fracassi book or a Fracassi recommendation. So the other thing I want to say is I set up a Discord server a long time ago. My son did. I invite you to join it. I'm starting to join other Discord servers. Please be patient with me. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm trying to understand. I'll try to be more active. I'm going to set some time in the day to do social media stuff and respond to things. So I'm going to get better at it, more disciplined at least. And so look for me on Discord and do other things for that. So I just wanted to make a note. I had it in my book, Discord. And then, yes, new Goodreads giveaway for Boys in the Valley from Nightfire. I got back in it. I wasn't going to mention it because I don't want competition. But yes, Mitch is a baby and he doesn't know that when you tell other people to sign up for a giveaway, you're hurting yourself. Baby Mitch needs to learn. But I answered the giveaway. So, but if you don't have Boys in the Valley on pre-order and aren't sure about Fracassi's magic, go get it. Go sign up. My guess is because they did not specify that the 2 books had to be the most recent 2, they're giving numbers to the first email that qualifies and requests and then denying additional requests. I think if you were specific about a number and you wanted the number in the past and you've been adamant about that number, like I've been with every release since Tommyknockers. When I got Tommyknockers, I got assigned a number arbitrarily. It was 34. I thought it was awesome. No, actually, I think I had gotten the Doubleday Years books. I got The Shining. It was number 34. And then when PS did Tommyknockers, I said, hey, my number 34, can I get it? And they said, sure. And I thought it was awesome. So that's how I've gotten the number 34 with Doubleday Years and PS. And I've been on it with a special request with every release. Maybe that's okay. He's going to request this number. We're going to put it off to the side for him. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm sad that people who have been loyal customers are having this issue. Jeff, you think I'm hurting myself? I win all giveaways. Yeah. 2,043 requesting Boys now on the giveaway. Yeah. Yeah, Mitch, win the lottery and buy me an RV. Jeff, did you say you were going to post the Discord link in the Facebook group? I could, but the Discord link is in my description. It's been in my description to every video. And people had been joining the Discord server and I hadn't done anything with it. So I did not ask for a specific number. John, that might be it. Maybe they're trying to honor the people who really want those numbers. I don't know. I'll think about it. They typically turn me away at the convenience store when I try and buy those lottery tickets. That's funny. Mitch isn't concerned. He's going to win anyway. Mitch has the ultra better, rarer Boys in the Valley arc that I don't even have. I got the one with the art for the cover. He's got the one before that. So he's an OG. I'm not bitter about it. I mean, I do have the Beach Boys inscribed and signed by Philip Fracassi. So I have a one of one. And I don't recommend you destroy your arcs so that they are one of ones. But I will say it's now a lore. It's Fracassi lore. The ultimate collector will need the Beach Boys to have a complete collection. And you never will. It's got to burn. But he's got an OG Boys in the Valley arc. And it pisses me off because I don't have that. Time to go. Night all next week. Okay, yes. I have all 3 Boys in the Valley arcs. See? I only have 2 of the 3. Arc Envy. Yeah. So that's the live for tonight. An hour and 40 minutes. No, an hour and 50 minutes. Almost 2 hours of time you'll never get back. And I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to finish my beer, my Rapture, which only makes Baby Mitch richer. Hopefully your parents are putting all the Rapture money into a fund for you, Mitch, because I don't trust you to handle it yourself. So good night. Good night, everyone. You're welcome for ranting. Till next Monday. Producer Jill said good night. She allowed her voice to travel this way. I don't know if you heard her, but it's legitimate. She exists. She's still only 2 feet tall, so thoughts and prayers welcome. But I'll be back when the week is new, and I'll have more ideas to share with you, and you'll have things you want to talk about. Maybe I won't do this every week. I do it. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm superstitious. Like Moises Alou, who pees on his hands. Good night. Good night. Cheers. Good night. It's always a blast. I love having you guys here. It's always a great time. And I will see you next Monday. And you'll see me. And hopefully I'll work on that. I'll work on what you see.